Hi, we are going to see CSS class and ID. Okay, now let's say we have inside the body we have a section, and then inside this section I am having a div. Okay, and then this div inside this div I'm gonna have let me just say just that way. This is uh this is div 1, okay, or division 1. Okay, um division 1. All right, and then I'll just copy this div and replicate it again and say this is division 2. Okay, and then I just go to my styling already linked. Okay, I will just go ahead and say I have my div. Okay, I have my div, and then I'm just want to give them a background color of yellow. Okay, a background color of yellow, and I save the work and then check out my browser because I have my live server already running. I check out my browser, and then you can see I have my two divs having the same background color of yellow. Now question, what if I want to like make only the first one to have yellow and probably the second one to have a color of green? Okay, now this is where something like class and ID comes in play. Okay, let's start with that first. Let's say we're gonna give this div a class. Okay, and this class you can name it anything. Okay, this class is actually a property of an element. All right, it's just a property of an element, just the same way we have style. Okay, where we are trying to do some inline styling. Okay, now the class is actually a property like I made mention, and then you're gonna give it a class name. Okay, a class name. So what is that class name you want to give it? Just anything at all. Let me just call this one div 1. Okay, as like such. Okay, div 1. Okay, and I also do for this one. All right, I'm gonna do for this one, I'm gonna say class. Okay, and I will name it what? Div 2. All right, this thing now that I have done so far is going to help me to demarcate between the first div and the second div. Now remember, when you go ahead and do something like this div, okay, and then background color, it goes ahead to give you the background color for what it literally means is that it gives you anything that has div at all in your website. Okay, anything at all, whether is inside there, anything at all, but it has div. Okay, and anywhere at all. If I say even outside this section and I say div, okay, and I say blah 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 blah, something like that. Okay, and then I save this work, it's really gonna have the same background color of yellow. Okay, and that's the implication. Okay, and you might want to stop that from happening. Okay, so that is why we have given us we have given our divs a class name of div 1 and then also div 2. Okay, good. Now after that, just go to your CSS. Okay, just go to your CSS. Instead of writing just div as this, okay, instead of writing just div as this, I want you to do something else. I want you to remove this div. Okay, and then go ahead and write period, which is basically a dot, and then followed by the name of that class you gave. Okay, in my own case I gave the first one was div 1. Yeah, the first one was div 1, and I have background color here to be yellow. Remember, I had to add period in front of this. Okay, this period now tells the CSS file that this is actually going to affect only the classes that has div 1 as their name. Okay, what do I mean? Only the classes that has div 1 as their name. So this class has div 1 as its name. So probably I have another class that has this same div 1. That is where this styling is going to reflect. Okay, let's see this in action. Okay, and I come here, and as you can see, it is only this one that got affected. Okay, which is probably awesome. Well, let me say we have this div also outside of this section. Okay, outside this section, and just enter it and then say another class. Okay, another class, and inside here I'm just gonna have my I'm gonna repeat this class, which is div 1. I'm gonna say class and have it to be div and then 1. What is gonna happen is that since I have declared that here affect every div, and every div that has or rather every class that has div 1, just go ahead and affect it. So the CSS will go ahead and check out, is there any class that has div 1, which is this one basically, and it will affect it to that background color, and it will check again, is there any other class that has div 1. Basically this has div 1. Okay, it will go ahead and affect that background color. As you can see, we now have two two divs having the same background color. Okay, now basically you want to also make this one another background color like we mentioned. All you have to do is just come to the next, okay, and then instead of div 1 this time around, just do div 2, and then you can go ahead and do some background color, more like background color of green, okay, depending on how you want it. All right, background color of the green, and then you must want to change the color to make it stand out. Okay, color of white can serve, okay, as such, and then save your work. As you can see, we now have these two. All right, now what if in the sense that you know, you want the classes, okay, let me say you want the classes to be you want this div to have div 1, okay, and also this div to have div 1 as a class, but instead you do not want the second one to be affected when it comes to your styling. Okay, what will you do? That is where this arrangement, which I made mention the other time about organization of our codes, okay, that's where this arrangement comes in play. Okay, what I will now do is what I call nested styling. Okay, nested styling. So I'll just go ahead and say, I will now go ahead and say section. Okay, remember, whenever we are giving a class by our own self, that's whenever you are giving a customized name. Okay, more like we give this a customized name, we're gonna, if it's a class, we're gonna make use of a period like this. But if it's actually an element that comes alongside with HTML, there's no need for you to write any period before it. Okay, as you can see, this section is a HTML element, and is being recognized. That's why the color is actually this yellow. Okay, so I'm gonna do section, okay, and then I'll say inside this section I have div 1, okay, and then I can now apply my styling. Let me say I want this background styling to be purple, okay, background color to be purple. Okay, I will explain a bit, and then I'll say save, and then I'll just also say, let me say the color is it's gonna be white, and then I'm gonna save this work. Okay, let's see what happened now. As you can see, the first one changed the property. Okay, the last one retained whatsoever we gave it here. So what really happened? All right, what happened was that we had to say for the div 1 that is inside, like if you hover this right now, if you hover on this div 1 right now, it's trying to tell you that we are having a section here. Okay, we are having a section as an element, and inside that section we are having another element rather that has a class of what? Div 1. Okay, so what it's going to do is going to target only the class that has div 1 inside a section. So coming here, this div 1 was not inside a section, so it's not going to look at it, but this particular div 1 was inside a section. So that is what we did. We just nested. Okay, nested, more like a hierarchy. Okay, so first of all, get the parents. The parent is actually what? The section here. All right, the parent is the section here. Get the parents, and then get the class name that we want, and then style what we want to style. Okay, that's it for classes. Okay, next in line is actually IDs. Okay, if you don't want to make use of classes, you can also make use of ID. And how do I mean? Instead of in this div 2 now, instead of using class, you can just replace it with what? ID. Okay, now when I save it and check my browser, nothing will happen again because I have changed that thing. Okay, so all you have to do is this time around just go back to your CSS in that div 2. Okay, instead of make use of a period this time around, just make use of an hashtag. Okay, hashtag, and then save it. All right, when you save it, it will recognize it back and the color will change. Okay, so what you should take home right now is that whenever you're working with a class, you should make use of a period, and whenever you're working with an ID, you should make use of an hashtag. Okay, and then whenever you want to like give a hierarchy, you should make use of this sort. Okay, so this is just it, and thank you for standing by. See you.